9397 Network and Hot 9397 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Brought to you by Haylove Saloon, Adam's Apple, Janet'sCloset.com, and Janet'sDungeon.com.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Yep, it's Friday. We got some fun stuff to talk about today. French fries or tater tots. If you had to choose one for the rest of your life, which one would it be? That'd be a toughie. And we're also talking about Disney movies today. Our favorite Disney. See, we're going to lighthearted talk today. Disney movies, not just animated either. Although when I think of Disney, I certainly think of animated movies, but it's not exclusive. And even like the old the Apple Dumpling Gang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Herbie, that the vehicle Herbie and not Herbie Hancock, the the Volkswagen Beetle, the old that had a mind of its own. Those type of movies we need to get back to. I mean, the gore, the action, the superhero, the science fiction, all that, they're great, whatever. But good family movies, Disney. Not all of them, though. Well, one in particular. Well, we're going to talk about it later, but that's what we got on the agenda today. Also, good cliches, like, grass is always greener on the other side. Never eat spinach with a stranger. So we got a minute and a half. Oh, wait a minute. We're not supposed to be listening to that. We're listening to LL Cool J. Mama said knock you out. The radio is, but we don't listen on this because licensing. But anyway, it's Friday. We're here. Ready to get rolling. Hopefully. Looks like everything's going good so far. Yeah. Not sure where you are, but where I are, it's morning. And I love my morning coffee, as you know. Daylight savings is coming up. Oh, I got 1 minute. Hold on 1 second. Daylight savings is coming up, and there's much controversy, which I don't ever think it's going to change, but there's a lot of controversy about whether or not it should even be, if we should go back to just leave it the way it is at a certain point. So, in other words, daylight savings ends today or this weekend, I think, right? It began, now it ends. I'm not sure how it goes, but we're going to talk a little bit about the implications of daylight savings time a little bit later on, but we always have a lot of good stories to talk about. It's what we do. I got a great one to start with. Getting close to it. Couple seconds. Whoop, whoop. This is where it gets real serious. I grabbed the right earpiece. That's a start. You can listen to this. It's all me.
Click on the social network tab, chime in, and be eligible to win.
Chime in.
Download the free 9397 network app today. We don't care if you jam out with your clam out or rock out with your out. Just do it here on WHOT Hot 9397.
If my mother was listening. She's heard worse from me. Believe it. She come to one of my shows. She came to my 48th birthday show at the bar. It started at 11 p.m. Oh, my Botox injection shot itching. All right, enough of that. Good morning, happy Friday, everybody. It is already November 4th. Can you believe it? It's Friday, which means the weekend is right around the corner. Thank you for joining us today on a happy Friday morning. I mean, it's already getting into we're knee deep anyway into November already. It's not near midway or anything like that, but we're knee deep now. So time flies. Make sure that, actually, you know what? Perfect thing. The Good Times show that airs from 4 to 7 p.m. here, they always have these words of wisdom kind of things that they do. And I don't share them because it's their deal. But since we're talking about time flies, that's the bad news. They've got one that says the good news is you're the pilot. Time flies, but you're the pilot, right? So we got to think about all that when we're going through our daily life of stress and doing jobs we don't like and all that stuff. Life's beautiful and it's Friday. So if you are a Monday through Friday 9 to 5er, then this is your day. I mean, it's your last day of work and gearing up. It's starting to get close. The holiday season is starting to feel a little bit more imminent. And I'm not sure where you're at, but we are experiencing where I'm at very warm, not summer-like temperatures, but in the 60s, high 60s, low 70s, and it's quite nice. So it doesn't exactly feel like the holiday season is approaching when it comes to our weather, but when you go into a store, you can see, and we know it's that time of year now. So it's hard though, because with the warm weather, you just kind of go, from where we're at, like if you're in the South, you never get the snow. So it's no big deal. But anyway, today we got a lot to talk about. We're talking about French fries or tater tots. We're talking about favorite Disney movies. We're talking about cliches, but we're starting off with this. Whether it's a sports team, a prized possession, you love something so much, no matter how obscure it is, no matter how unique it might be. Is it okay to name your child after that? Right? And we've heard some pretty original names. I wouldn't say odd or anything, because what you name somebody, it's really perspective of what you want to name them. But we're used to the traditional Steve, Mary, Jeffrey, Diane, and the typical. So when you hear a name you're not used to, it's always what was that? How do you, so everybody wants to be unique. But now we have to go all the way to the Bell family, who's about to have a child, and they love Taco Bell. I know, you're setting your kid up to be bullied. That's what everybody initially thinks. Two parents want to name their kids after Taco Bell. Their last name is Bell. You want to talk about a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. Picking a name out is tricky. And I can tell you for me, myself, when my son was born, his birthday is coming up in a couple weeks, I thought we knew the name of our boy until he came out and he didn't look like what we were going to name him. So it changed. And it was okay. It didn't, when we met him, and it's funny, we say when we met them, but when you finally meet your child, to me, a gift from God, he didn't look like what we were going to name him. And I remember, but oh boy, someone's car alarm's going off out there. Hopefully you can't hear that. But the luxuries of having a window seat. So yeah, anyways, well, I'm going to have to look and see here in a minute if that's my vehicle, which would be impossible, but I guess not entirely. So Why would you want to name your kid Taco Bell? You know what I'm saying? I think it's a big mistake. I am all for original names, right? Oftentimes, though, you may decide a name, and then once the baby comes out, you go, oh no. I'm not talking about a different gender, because sometimes you'll think it's a boy and it's a girl. Things can get misconstrued in the video or the ultrasound down there and all that. So yeah, it could be a misunderstanding that way. But no, same gender comes out. You think it's a boy, but then when you see your boy, you go, wait, he doesn't look like that. He looks like a this, right? Insert name here, whatever it is. But when it comes to popular, right? Now, if you were a big Los Angeles Lakers fan and you named your kid Laker, I don't think that would be a bad name, because Laker, I mean, Tucker, right? So I get the thing. It wouldn't, to me, wouldn't be a relation to the Los Angeles Lakers for everyone. But if you named your kid, oh, I'm wearing a Michigan shirt for those listening and watching on the broadcast. If you named your kid Wolverine, people would go, oh, either you watch too much TV or you like a way overrated football team. Not this year. They're good this year. But anyway, naming your kid after a fast food restaurant, and people are letting them know without any real qualms, you're making a big mistake for this kid. They will get bullied for it. Now, if you want to make your kid tough, well, that's fine. But tough on the outside is usually damaged on the inside. And that's when we have all these troubles. Again, good parenting. It starts with setting your kids up for success. Now, on the other hand, there was the lady from the South, a lady who said, I want my son to have a little bit of an advantage in life, and names matter. So she named him Senator. So whenever he went somewhere, she said he would check into a hotel and he would say, my name is Senator Brown. I'm not making this up. Look it up. And they literally felt that that would give them a small edge, not advantage, just an edge, right? Sometimes you just need a little bit of help to get your foot in that door. One person to believe you can really do it, or really be that, right? If you look at, and people's first perception of you is visual, audio, everything at once. So if you hear Senator Brown, your table's ready. Okay. You think you're talking to a senator. You go, Senator Brown, what district is he from? Or are they from? Maybe it's not a boy. Maybe it's a girl. So I don't know if I agree with all that, but I can dig it that if you name them something, understand the stages in life and where that's going to lead them. I mean, let that guide you at least a little bit. So on TikTok, of course, they went out there and had to explain what they were doing on TikTok, which is already a warning sign. Some people were like, are you really going to do this? Are you really going to name your kid Taco Bell? They replied, it's our top name choice so far. Yeah. I don't like it. But hey, they said, this is what gets me. This is what they said. Since our last name is Bell, it would be hilarious if our kid's name was Taco Bell. Hopefully he doesn't get bullied, though. Oh, everybody agrees it's funny. It's hilarious. But you'll regret it. Guarantee you he will not go by Taco when he gets able to be given a nickname, right? I mean, come on. But hey, to each their own. And be sure, if you're listening to the show and you live around the Bells, and you meet Taco in the future, make sure, oh my God, we can go so far into the gutter with those jokes. But anyway, and you meet Taco Bell, be polite, be nice, and it's not his fault his parents made a terrible choice. Let's hope that's the worst decisions they make. Hilarious for now, but not when they try to get a job or be an adult, one skeptic wrote. And of course, the jokes came flying in about, well, at least they have a place to work. I mean, when Taco Bell makes your taco at Taco Bell, you can't get any more closer to the heavens than that. And then on Taco Tuesday, even though Taco Bell doesn't celebrate Taco Tuesday because Taco Bell's not really tacos. It's just ingredients that make tacos. No, I'm just kidding. They're pretty good. We'll never get a sponsorship from Taco Bell, but that's okay. Maybe we will from Charmin, the toilet paper, which you need when you're done with that. A lot of people said the same thing, though, about Taco Bell being the name of your child. Might be funny for you guys, but not for the kid when they're trying to grow up. Why not name them Jingle? Jingle Bell. Oh, the gay jokes would fly. Ooh, my goodness. But again, a name is just a name, right? But you want the name to roll off, like I don't know, Meet the Fockers, Martha Focker. You want the name to roll smooth like that one, right? Kind of. I don't know that it could be construed as bad parenting to name your kid something like that, but certainly they could be doing it just to try to get likes on TikTok. Allow me to be very frank with you when I say we stream on all social media networks. When I say all, I do not mean all, okay? I mean, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube. We do post on Instagram, but we can't do a 3-hour show on Instagram. I personally, I can't speak for the radio station, will never, ever touch TikTok. Ever. Couldn't pay me to. You might even not pay me not to. But I would never advertise on TikTok, even if it guaranteed me 1 million views and $2 million. Pass. Thank you. So anyway, not to rant, but just being honest. I think it's appropriate. Background music's going. Okay, it is the weekend. We're listening to it a little bit in the background. Just keeps the ears going, I think. So make sure you join us. We are live streaming on our social media networks, the ones that we have. And I know people love TikTok. And if you love it, that's up to you. It's America. You're free to do whatever it is you choose. It's all good and fine. However, understand that there's problems with it. But everybody to each their own. Me? No, thank you. All right. Big plans for the weekend. It is now past October, obviously, because we're in November, but Halloween season, the fall season is kind of in full swing. The hay rides, the apple cider, a lot of that happens before the cold weather, which is usually close to about now. But what else is there to do between sledding and skiing and boating and swimming and sunbathing and going out to all the festivals and everything? There's kind of a lull in the action, right? And we already know, based on what we talked about the other day, that we have to curb our drinking, because we talked about the death rate in Americans in an age bracket from the mid-20s to like from 25 to 49. 1 in 5 die from alcohol-related problems. But there's always that but. There's always that however. What about the 101-year-old woman who shares her secret to longevity? Well, lady celebrating her 101st birthday. Mary Flip from Chandler, Arizona, celebrating her 101st birthday the other day, born in 1921. So she's seen a lot, right? The Great Depression, multiple wars, 6 kids, and still has her wits about her and sense of humor. They asked her, "How do you feel?" She said, "With my hand," chuckling. That's kind of a cliche. We're going to be talking about cliches, right? Not many people live to see 101. Not many want to, maybe. But hey, as long as you have your wit and sense about you, that's fine. Live it up. And of course, your body's going to fail. Of course, you're not going to be able to get around as much. Hopefully, you're in a diaper. Because if not, you don't sit on the couch. You got to put vinyl down. Like, good Lord, here we go. We got to have bed mattress pads on everything. So this beautiful young lady at 101 years old wearing another year sexier pin and birthday girl pin on both would be a lapel if you wore one, right? Lapel or no? What that on your wrist? I don't know. Lived through the Great Depression. Her sister and mother died early in life. She was the only survivor of her family at age 15. So in 1936, 21, 31, ding, ding, I did math in public and I was successful. In 1936, at the age of 15, on her own. But she had 6 kids. They're all grown. She said, now I just stand back and watch them all fight. Living through all the things that she's been through, think about being 15 and on your own now. There would be resources for you. There would be so much help for you that you would just have to go seek it. Not back then. So she carried on her legacy with the family, having 6 of her own kids. And at 18, so in 1939, she moves to Mexico, gets married, and lived a quiet life as a rancher on a ranch. Then got pregnant. So they moved back to Chicago, where she became a legendary artist recognized by the Chicago School of Art. This is an amazing woman we're talking about here, Mary Flip. Doing things that would be difficult to do in 2022 and in the 1930s. Pretty interesting. She said she loved to draw. She would draw and everything would develop in front of her eyes and you just make it look like real life. She said, I had nothing else to do. It took time, but I had nothing else to do except raise a bunch of kids. Like, that's not enough. Like, I need more to do. Okay. Her secret to longevity, why did she live to 101? Still have her senses about her, all her facilities. Tequila. Celebrating 101 years old on her birthday, sipping a Guinness, dancing, saying, I'm going to get up on the table, probably after that shot of tequila. So back to the original part of this. Moderation of everything is the ticket. How to live a long life? Yeah, diet. Yeah, eat right, get plenty of sleep. Don't drink a lot. Don't do excessive drugs. Hard drugs. What's considered drugs now is different than what was considered drugs 10 years ago, 5 years ago, legally 1 year ago, maybe 2 years ago, or maybe 5. I don't know how long ago marijuana started becoming legal in states in the United States. But is it still considered a drug? Of course it is. Coffee's a drug, but here I sit with one. We just don't like to call it that. It's kind of they do drugs. We're all on drugs, just like Weezer talked about. So sitting there with a beer, drinking a beer, tequila was her key to longevity. But drinking every day is bad for you. Moderation. Too much of anything's no good. too many French fries, too many tater tots. Would be nice to live to 101. I would love to. I would love to live past that as long as I have my senses about me and can live my life and know what's going on and not be a big burden to people. I would hate to be one of those that required constant care and burden other people, right? So, and not have the quality of life you want. And that's called old age. Woo! I'm getting there. It's something I look forward to. I pray for. I hope to get old. I know people say don't get old, but I'm hoping to. It's kind of the plan, right? So this weekend, daylight savings time. I wouldn't say it's much controversial, but I would say that much talked about, much debated, and it's never really gained much legs to do anything other than crawl legally to say what would be the real benefits, the pros and cons to daylight savings time and or lack thereof. I think a lot of it would be selfish reasons. I know for me personally, I'm kind of on the fence now because at first I was like, no, I hate when it gets dark at 5:15, 5:30 p.m. But now, selfishly, my schedule has changed, right? I get up early in the morning. I go to bed early in the evening. I'm in bed. Last night, I made it till, I think, 9:30. And I get up at 3:30, maybe 4 a.m. But 3:30 is my get up time. And when you do that, you get used to it. So daylight savings time doesn't bother me as much because after 3 hours of darkness, I am ready for bed. Whereas when I used to stay up until midnight, 1 in the morning, and not have to get up until 6 or 7, or sometimes not have to get up at all, or not get up to an alarm clock anyway, you tend to go, oh, daylight savings makes me, it getting dark so early is bad. But it's selfish reasons. And I think a lot of people would feel the same way. It'd be like, yeah, deep down inside, it's because of this, that, or the other. It's not about what would be good about it. Well, did you know that making daylight savings time year round or whatever, however it works, would reduce deer collisions, prevent 33 deaths a year, 2,000 injuries a year, not vehicular, like from being dark early. It would save about 1.2 billion in automobile collision costs. So there are things to it, but is it worth it? Wildlife and vehicle collisions data from 23 states showed that drivers hit and killed 37,000 fewer deer. If the U.S. stuck to daylight saving year round, it would prevent dozens of human deaths. Huh. These polls they do, I'll tell you. So it reduces the amount of time that rush hour traffic takes place during darkness, which would prevent the deaths and 2,000. So most of the deaths and injuries I am seeing are from vehicles, right? Driving at night. Not complete night either, right? Kind of that dust, the transition from night to dark or from day to dark. And it's a little bit, the lights don't really help, but you kind of need them. It's dusk. That's what it's called. So this highlights the subtle changes in human behavior and how these can impact our animals. Which means no more deer getting hit or less deer, 37,000 fewer. They wouldn't know though. They wouldn't all gather and go, hey, you notice we're not being getting hit by cars as much this year, huh? Thank God they changed daylight savings time. And then somebody would pop in, yeah, good for Biden. And then somebody would pop in, let's go, Brandon. And then there'd be a fight. And then the deer would go fighting each other. And then it would be That's what we do, right? It is coming up. The elections are coming up Tuesday, but we won't know till Wednesday morning what's going on. Who cares? Actually, that's not true. I care. I've lost hope in our politics. So it's too big of a business for me. I don't care about daylight savings anymore as much if we change it or not, because I don't know that it really affect me too much. And I want to do what's best for our, not humans. I don't want to make it more convenient for us. If you want to save the 2,000 injuries and 33 deaths, how about we just drive safer at night? Let's put accountability on us. How about we just do that? How about we just drive safer? It's not that hard. Slow down a little. Maybe don't change lanes without really making sure. Maybe planning ahead. And when you know that you have to get over to the right to make a right turn, don't wait and speed up to get around somebody and then slam on your brakes to turn in front of them. Make sure you plan ahead of time so it's not a big surprise to you and everyone around you that you're turning right. It's really not that much to ask, but I know it's real difficult. If you drive 2 hours after dark, so 7:30 p.m. on the Eastern time zone during daylight savings, if you drive 2 hours after dark, you're 14 times more likely to hit a deer than during the daylight. And obviously, deer crashes spike in the fall. So for deer, there's no worse time to switch our schedules around than hunting season, which is also their mating period. The white-tailed deer. I saw some. No, never did see it. Don't know if I'd sit and watch, but be like, hey, look at that. Them deer are doing it. Where are we at? 7:32. Let's change our banner and get ready for our first break of the day. When we get back, we're talking about French fries or tater tots. And more than just that, because we love our food topics on here. But if you had to choose one for the rest of your life, you could only eat tater tots or French fries with your meals when you were going to have them. Which one would it be? And then we also got to come up with some good cliches, like good work excuses that everybody uses. Dog ate my homework. That's a good cliche, right? Grass is always greener on the other side. Things like that. All right, we're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back. Yeah. All right. BRB, I'll put the time on there. Going to break.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the gay bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
93.97.
All right. Happy Friday, everybody. You are listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, stirring the pot, serving the latest soup. Not stirring much of a pot today, really, but you know, every now and again we like to have a little bit of a fun-filled Friday. So we're talking about food, French fries, or tater tots. Which one would it be? We're talking about what's a good cliche and where'd they come from? But now Halloween just ended. So we're going to talk a little bit about what just happened. There's always that one guy who wants to, it's no different than the rifle carrying guys into the police department, right? It's like, why? What are you thinking? Raleigh, North Carolina, Halloween. This goes against everything that I say. This goes against everything that I believe should be the law. And apparently it's not anymore. Raleigh, North Carolina, Halloween night. One person is outraged, well, many people, one said it, after someone dresses up in a mass shooting suspect costume. This is in a neighborhood that was affected by the mass shooting in Raleigh weeks ago. What, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that? There's a guy, so the lady's in her garage. She looks out and sees a person walking down the street wearing army fatigues. On the shirt, it said, "Mass shooters' lives matter." Face painted like a skeleton. His hands and neck were painted black. He was in black neck. So skeleton face, so he's hiding his identity, right? He's painted, wearing black hands, black neck, which means he's trying not to be identifiable. Can't prove he's not black if he's all black in the dark of night as a passerby. This is a sight that they're seeing in the neighborhood just 3 weeks after losing neighbors in that mass shooting in Raleigh, North Carolina. He goes up to the driveway, points an object that looked like a rifle. They hear a flash pop, and they were all scared to death. Some would say, great Halloween costume. Others would say, inappropriate, insensitive, and that's one like me. Legal? Sure, maybe, but you're not allowed to cause panic in a society, right? In public, you're not allowed to cause panic knowingly. It's disturbing the peace, right? Or no? Legally, he's not doing anything. They called police. They showed up at the neighborhood. The weapon, a broom. The police officer that showed up was unable to do anything. This is the part that gets my goat, which is a cliche. You're welcome. Just pimping the topic for later. The police officer asked him for his identification. The person did not want to give him his identification, so the cop left. So nothing I can do. He won't give me his ID. I wonder if this cop said, I'm not taking this guy to the ground, getting into an altercation, losing my job and freedom over this. Because when you are suspected of things like disturbing the peace and people said you pointed something and it went off at me, then yeah, there's a little more to it than just, well, nothing I can do, move along. He wouldn't show me his ID. So you've got a man walking around in a Mass Shooters Lives Matter shirt in skeleton face with black neck and black hands, painted black neck, pretending to shoot people in a neighborhood that just had a mass shooting in it. First of all, the guy's a butthole. This guy is a piece of crap, right? This is a loser in life. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care who you think you are. The fact that you get a charge out of doing this to somebody makes you trash. What, you don't like honesty? Okay. Garbage. How's that? So the Raleigh Police Department say they understand the lasting impacts of the October 13th mass shooting in the Hedingham community. The Raleigh Police Department received multiple calls regarding this individual, and several officers responded to the call within minutes. The subject was thoroughly investigated. No, they were not. You don't even know their name. The officers determined that the subject was not carrying a real weapon and did not deem him a threat. This subject's costume and demeanor were insensitive and reprehensible, but not criminal. The RPD appreciates the vigilance of the community members who called 911, and we continue to urge you to call 911 when you see or hear anything suspicious. This is a good argument. It's completely insensitive. I don't even know the word. Egregious, despicable, disgusting. But there you have it. It's your right to do it. Now, I dare say, if one of my friends come to me and go, look at my costume, I'm calling you out right there. I'm going to go, you're an idiot. I don't want to be anywhere near you. Not funny. Go take that crap off. Done. And I know I say and do a lot of silly and stupid things, but that ain't one of them. And you got to know, what is your point of doing that? Are you a local? Are you from that area? Think about that. You got somebody walking down the neighborhood just after that happened, and you don't know nowadays, maybe that's part of the master plan and it's a real weapon pulled out. Then what do? Then we're back to the old thing again. Well, he really didn't do anything, so there was nothing we could do. Now, at least they found out that it wasn't a real weapon. But how do you not deem him a threat when he will not show his ID? And is that, I thought you had to. I know when you're in a vehicle, but I guess if you're just out and about, you don't have to show your ID. I don't get it. If I'm approached by a police officer, I'm showing my ID. You know why? First of all, I don't care about whether I have my rights. I do care about my rights, but I also care about law and order. And it's not a Republican statement. It's not a MAGA statement. Law and order is what we need for a good, happy life. And some of you are miserable because you don't want law and order. And I don't get it. Not one bit. To cause a stir in a neighborhood that had just had a shooting like that, and then go do that with that shirt on, I need to know your name. I need to know who you are. I need to know if you have warrants out for your arrest. I need to know if you have a vehicle parked down the street anywhere. How did you get to this location? I'm done with this. Well, they didn't do anything wrong. So no, you did do something wrong. You did something really wrong. You made a bad choice. And you subjected yourself to this investigation, which means we need to know your name. I could be wrong legally, but I'm not wrong in my mind of, I want my streets safe. And I am tired. Okay, so the next time this happens, let's put this scenario in. You're armed in that garage. This guy walks up in a, you already know where I'm going with this. Walks up with that shirt, pulls out what looks like could be a weapon. You're not a police officer. You're not trained to wait to know for sure. If there's a threat to you, an imminent threat to you, you end it. So you pull out your gun and you shoot this clown 2 to the chest. And then they go, what? He wasn't armed. Excuse me, madam, sir, whatever you identify as. Putting your hand in your shirt and going, stick 'em up, shorty, is armed robbery. It's the intent, illusion of a weapon. You think I have a weapon, so you're not going to act up against me. That's armed robbery. I'm not a lawyer, but I know that. So this leads people to say, we'll call 911, but we're going to tell them to bring an ambulance and a body bag because we know the cops ain't going to do anything about it. So the next time he pulls out a broomstick pretending to be a gun, we're just going to play cops and robbers. And I'm going to pretend to be the cop. And I'm going to shoot you. And then we have somebody going, but he wasn't armed and they shot my boy. Well, your boy was pretty careless with his thinking, honey. So, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. How hard is that? Is that difficult? No, it's not. So this jackwagon decides to walk through the street like he was, which he has the right to do. But then you walk up to a home, point a thing at them, pretending that it's a weapon. Don't act like you were not pretending it was a weapon. And it would be safe to assume when somebody walks up on you that you would think it was a weapon. Shoot them. Then you have, not only are you legally right to do it, but you have to live with that knowing you took a human life. This is all in the name of fun for Halloween. And this is what it turns into. This is why we can't have nice things in America anymore.
Equal rights for all, except blacks, Asians, Hispanics, Jews,
The new
gays, women,
America.
Muslims, everybody who's not a white man. And I mean white. So no Italians, no Polish, just people from Ireland, England, and Scotland. But only certain parts of Scotland and Ireland. Just full-blooded whites. No, you know what? Not even whites. Nobody gets any rights. America.
Pretty much. Thank you. Is that, that's not Stu. Who is that from, maybe it is Stu. I don't know. From Family Guy. Peter. Maybe it's Peter. I can't remember. I don't watch it very much. I'm more of a South Park girl. See, these are the type of conversations that really lead to wide thought. And it's a little scary for some of us, maybe. But where do we draw the line between the warning signs and this guy? Who knows? He might have been an off-duty police officer doing something. We don't know what this guy's intentions were. However, we've not learned enough yet to say we need to at least know your name so we can see if you have any warrants out for your arrest. You've injected yourself into an uncomfortable situation. And now we're supposed to just let you walk around even though you broke no law. There's the reasonable suspicion that you were about to. You walk. I mean, I understand both sides of it. He didn't do anything wrong by wearing that costume. And what he did was insensitive, but I also don't agree with just insensitive. If you walk up to a place with a disguised identity and you point a alleged weapon at them or a pretend weapon at them, That's not just insensitive. So forgive me for being a little bit over the top on Law and Order, but you should have been shot. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. You should have been shot. I mean, and why would you be surprised if you were? These are the things that are going on that I do not understand. We're supposed to have fun. We shoot up funerals now. Not that funerals are fun, but it's supposed to be a celebration of life. Whatever happened to the honor among thieves type thing, right? The mob never messed with family and police, and people, there was a code of honor amongst bad guys. Now it's a moralless free-for-all. Not that there were a ton of morals going around back then, maybe, but it's like there was some safety knowing that they weren't going to mess with you if you didn't mess with them type thing. But now, even yesterday on our local news, they're doing a segment about women running and how to stay safe, having a knife, having mace, having GPS tracker on you. We can't do better in a society that we've got predators out there stalking your running schedule, stalking your work schedule, unbeknownst to you at all. They don't even know who you are. They've only seen you running every day at the same time, and now they're going to take advantage of you. This is the world we live in. Who's raising these children to be this way? Because I can promise you, if you and I cross paths and you're running, you're as safe as I am out there with me, because you're only in as much danger as I encounter, because I'm not going to hurt you. Mom and Dad taught me well, and I know I got a lot of problems. But guess what? Being a butthole ain't one of them. I'm not going to go out and commit burglary or murder or violence against you because I don't know how to act in society. And then we excuse it until the mass shooting happens. We excuse it until they're a 3-time loser in life and they get life without parole. I don't feel bad for them. You've got decisions to make. It's up to our parents, and I'm a broken record, but it's so true. Train up your children in the way they will go. It's not a morale booster. It's the reality. We all train up our children in a certain way and send them on a direction. There's no not doing it. Even if you go, I ain't doing that. That's bull crap. I ain't that. You're doing it. Believe me, everyone sets their children up for where they're going. Not everybody follows that path. You've got alcoholic parents who other kids never drink. You've got alcoholic parents that the kids do drink. You might have identical twins. One drinks and one doesn't. There's no way to know. We're all wired different. But I don't understand what makes us being able so. It blew me away when that poor teenager, the college girl in South Carolina, unbeknownst to her, gets in an Uber. It wasn't an Uber. She just gets in the car and goes, hey, I'm going. The guy killed her. Like, why is that? You should have a better chance of winning the lottery twice than getting killed because you got into the wrong car in America. We can blame it on everything we want to. I blame it on parenting. I blame it on a lot of stuff, but it all starts at home, and that's not the exclusive thing. Parents cannot be around their kids 24/7. We talked about that. Cujo talked about that. I understand it. But overwhelmingly, it makes a big difference. But if you engage in teaching your child once they turn 12, you're done screwed up because they've already got everything they've already got their moral guidance by the time they're 12. Right? And it's not know all be all. It's knowing right from wrong and learning to not do wrong. And it should be a natural thing. It should take more energy to do wrong than to do right. Doing right should be easy. You find money, let's play honest here. If I find a bag of money that I don't have any idea whose it is, I'm keeping it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm keeping it. But if I find a wallet with $1,000 in it and an identification, I'm giving them $1,000 back because I can't sleep at night. I know I took it from you. Now, if I found a bag of money with no ID and all that, hey, I'm not turning that in. I'm sorry, I should. I know somebody could be their rent money. I dig it. But I also don't have faith in the system. Someone else is going to get it. And I know I'm wrong, and I hope it never happens. I hope I never find a suitcase filled with money because I don't want to put that burden on me because I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. I'll keep it. But I also know that if there's a name on it, I'm returning it. And if there's a name on it and it's like Guido, I'm not returning it. I'm taking it to the police station and they can return it. Because Guido will probably never show up to the police station to claim his money. But believe me, if he knows I've got it, they're all coming to see me in a black sedan. So that's how that works. Why are we in a society that this is more normal than ever? And we, going back to the Halloween costume, I don't care if you dress like Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't care if you dress like a mass shooting victim. Well, actually, I do care. I do care. But I don't care. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. However, you pointed a fake weapon at the direction of somebody. That is a no-no. That is a deal breaker. That is, the game just changed completely. Because now, whose life's in danger? Mine. I don't know what that is. I didn't know it was a broom. So I disagree that they could not get his ID. I disagree with that. I don't care. I think you need ID to vote too. Oh, I'm a bad person. I know. We use ID for a lot of things. You can't get into an R-rated movie without ID. You can't buy beer without. I'm 54 years old. I went to a regular place that I go to eat. I got carded the other day. Okay. Did I cry about it? I looked at her. I went, really? While I was pulling my ID out, I wasn't going to make her force me. I just let her know, really? Thank you? But you know what it is? They probably think I come in by myself, 2:30 in the afternoon, order a beer, and they don't card me. They don't know. I don't get mad because you got a job to do, right? I got other things to worry about than whether or not you're going to ID me. And it was a lady, so it wasn't like some guy thinking, ooh, I'm going to make her feel good and ID her. No, it was a girl. But I wasn't mad. You need ID. So why would you see? I don't get it. I understand my right to not tell you who I am if I'm not doing anything wrong. You don't have the right to approach me. I get all that. But walking around in camis at a place that just had a mass shooting with a fake weapon, what looked like a weapon, a broomstick, is not just an innocent guy walking his kids around in the neighborhood. It's completely different. So I don't like it. Again, I'm from the old school of Law and Order. If a police officer comes up to me and says, "Where's your ID?" I'm going, "In my purse. I'm gonna get it. It's right next to my 2 guns and my pound of cocaine." I just don't get why we have to have this divisiveness of the cops are not out to get you. They're only out to get you if you're breaking the law. It's a game. The good guys, the bad guys. Remember when we were kids, cops and robbers? I mean, it's a game, but it's not a game. It's real life. And I want my streets safe. I want bad guys not to be able to keep being bad guys or girls. I want innocent people to stop being attacked when they're jogging. I want innocent people to not get beat up because their team is different than someone else's. There was a politician the other day that the guy took a swing at him because he was a different side, but come to find out he was doing it to both sides. And we blame it on everything. We blame it on everything. Mental health crisis, pills, drugs, bullied, all these things. And they're things. They're real things. But it cannot allow us to give in, so to speak. We can't allow it to become where innocent people are now at risk en masse because we can't mess with people when they've had mental episodes or when they get this, that, and the other, but they never did anything yet. And then we wait until they did something. I'm done with that. It's time to take a little bit more of the reins and say, we're not putting up with it. And these are the type of things that need to stop. And that comes from us. You can't expect the police to take care of everything. We need to act right. I don't need the police to keep me in line. I keep me in line because I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I'm not driving 80 mile an hour in a 55 zone. I'm not driving 50 in a 45 zone. Well, 50 in a 45 ain't bad. But I'm not driving 35 in a 25. Why? 25 mile an hour zones are there for a reason. People live there. Kids are out playing. So, yeah, there's a reason for it. I don't look around and go, I'm better than everybody. I don't have to do 25. I can do 40, and I'm not stopping at the stop signs because there's nobody around. I'm not doing it. I'll leave that for you to do. I'm going to go 27 in a 25. Why? Because I know there's little kids around. What do kids do? Kids play. Kids don't understand death. Kids don't understand when the ball rolls out in the street, all they want is the ball, and a car will kill them. They have no clue. Kids are like dogs. They don't have any idea. You got to teach them. And when you run them over, lesson learned. But we drive like morons. We act like morons. You go out into the streets, we act crazy toward each other. We go into the stores, we act crazy toward each other. And we excuse it with all this other stuff. No, we're just humans are just ugly. Humans are just ugly creatures that can't look gift in the mouth. I think it was yesterday was 100 years since King Tut, the tomb was found. I go back, I'm thinking the King Tut lived back, 2000 BC or something like that. So 5,000 years ago or something like that, King Tut was around. Could you imagine the life they'd live? The luxury now, air conditioning, heat when it's cold, food at the store. You don't got to go hunt for it and trade for it. And you got to eat the meat immediately. There was no preservatives in it and stuff like that. You went, you took the damn thing, you put it on the fire and off you went. I mean, we got it made in the shade. Our homeless people live better than the middle class would have been considered back then. I dare say. But yet here we sit with all these self-inflicted problems, and part of it is simply us, like this clown that decides to dress in a mass shooter costume. What about it happened? It happened. Both things happened quite actually for Halloween. Hello, Bob. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
How goes it?
It is all right. How are you this morning?
I like your shirt.
It's Friday. It's warm. Gotta.
I see. Is that Mickey Mouse?
That is Mickey Mouse golfing.
Mickey Mouse golfing. I love it. You know where you got that from.
Well, it's my game. That's how I play.
I've got to ask, did you know that one of the themes we're talking about today is Disney movies?
Did not know.
Ah, see, we're wired up together.
It's all synchronized. Look at that.
You know, like a human centipede, but just different.
But just different.
Yeah. So we're talking about a guy at Halloween that went out to a place that had just had mass shootings, a neighborhood in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he went as a mass shooter, and his shirt said "Mass Shooters Lives Matter." He walked up to a neighbor in their garage, pointed what looked like a gun at them, and it went off with a pop. They called police. The police showed up. The guy would not show his ID, and they let him go because there was nothing they could do.
Because he didn't technically shoot someone, so.
But you brandish armed robbery at a bank. If you just have to say you got a weapon.
Right.
And it's armed robbery. Anything that would make you, other than you just willingly giving me the money for your own safety, if I insinuate that I have a weapon, it's armed robbery.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing walking up to a house. It's like you point something at it. He's lucky that they didn't own a gun and they didn't just pop him right then and there. And when the police say, well, there's nothing we can do, the subject was thoroughly investigated. No, he was not. You don't even know his name.
Right. Yeah. How
You
could
can't
you?
tell me you thoroughly did anything if you couldn't get his name from him.
Right.
But that's his rights, and I don't like it.
No, it goes too far. Like it shouldn't even have to be said, but of course it has to be said. You know.
Everything has to be said now.
No, I know.
Common sense is only possessed by those who possess it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not common. It's what do they call that? Elite common sense. Only a few people have it. It's exclusive.
Yeah.
To few. I don't get it.
A lot of people got to reach around behind themselves and pull it out. You know, it's like
I do like a good reach around.
Yeah, pull it out and use it once in a while.
I just don't understand the tone of the mentality of wanting to get in a outfit to cause that type of panic. Then you got to wonder. I mean, there's so much that can go wrong for this moron, right? He's very lucky to be walking around. All you got to do is have someone either shoot you or call the police and be like, hey, this guy's got a weapon and he's walking down the street, and all they're thinking of is, oh man, on my shift, on my watch, and they go toward him, and all they got to do is see him and go drop the weapon. But it's a boom. It looked like he was lifting his gun toward me. It's a broomstick. You dum-dum. Are you serious?
Common sense.
Oh, this guy right here. Okay, on our I thought I blocked this moron. This XXX69 online is back on our live stream broadcast. I blocked this moron the other day. I'm blocking him again. How do you report him? I'm going to figure that out on break because that's ridiculous. I don't care about your stupid whatever the hell you're doing.
Stuff. Yeah.
Don't sell it here, baby. I sell my own porn videos.
That's don't compete.
I'm kidding.
Maybe.
All right, we are break time. We're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back. Yeah, what a clown, man. Does it really work? Like you just spam people's things and people go, oh, I got to check that out. Oh, I mean, obviously people do, but.
Right. Or they wouldn't do it, but still.
Yeah.
Takes you back to that common sense thing.
Yeah, it's funny too because everybody else commenting, I don't get any of their comments, and this asshole comments, and it comes right up there. Get out of here, man. Now, if you're listening, go F yourself, you clown, and quit listening. Go listen to some other crap.
Yeah, we don't need that here.
Yeah. Porn's great, whatever, but to each their own. But what the hell are you doing here? I don't want, I'm not offended by it. I'm just, get that crap off of here. I don't care if you're selling anything. Get it out of here. Now, if you want to pay us, then I'll advertise for you. I'll be like, XXX69, baby, that's the way to go. But if you ain't paying me, get out of here. Look behind me. What do you see? There ain't a damn thing. Why? You're lucky I put this up there. Oh, no. Charity's over. You bet that.
Yeah.
Charity is over. If there ain't pay, there ain't nothing behind me. Nothing.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It would make sense to have an advertiser behind us. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, we're 3 years into this. This ain't free. There ain't no freebies. All right, I got work to do. I got like 9 songs in a row here.
Okay.
One of these days, I'm going to fix all this. I'll see what you want to do when we come back.
Yeah, roughly.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We come back at 8:50
Okay.
ish.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll be back.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That kind of stuff irritates me. I need another piece of your ear. Oh, you can't hear this. We're listening to Pussy Control from Prince. Let's see. We come back 8:50 about. Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there we go. 8:49, we come back. Sorry, got work to do. I got to figure out how to block this little bastard all the time. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's Friday, my big day. I got playoff football. I got equipment problems. People, I don't understand. People unplug. These are professional videographers unplugging all the stuff, like everything. And it's like, we don't even know where this stuff plugs back into, man. Don't be unplugging this stuff at 9:30 on a Friday night because you're tired and cold. And then we get back out there the next week and we don't know what the hell's what. I spent 5 hours trying to figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, ain't no figuring it out. So I got to get there early tonight. I got to get there about 4 o'clock for a 7 o'clock high school football game to figure it out, if I can, so that they can have the system work the way they paid for it to work. Like, we know better. You don't come in here touching knobs and touching dials until you know what you're doing and what you need to adjust. You don't just walk in here and go, oh, that one needs to go here. On my board, it does that. No, wait and see. But no, we got to come in there. Oh, this don't go there. That goes here. What are you doing? So, yeah, we got nothing. In fact, I have to call my boss and let him know a little bit later. Oh. Looking on my phone. Oh, I paid that. I got this thing popped up on my credit report. I'm like, what the hell is that? And it was legit. It was a bill from a doctor that I had done. I forgot to pay it. I'm like, what the hell? Got rid of it. They got construction going on out there and everything. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm tired. Oh, yeah. Another 70-degree day in Detroit. Like my tire was flat. I'm about to have a conniption fit. That's the last thing I need. Flat tire on a Friday. It rhymes, though. If I'm going to have a flat tire, what is it, a beer called that, or is it fat tire? I don't know. Sound like thunder, but it's a big old vehicle out there busting up the road or something. I do enjoy filming football, but I'm ready for this year to get over, man. Whew. Long days. I got up there at 3:30. I won't get home tonight till 9:30, 10 o'clock. Well, I won't get home probably tonight. Playoffs probably be 10:30, 11. Upload the footage. It'll be midnight. And I got to get up tomorrow. I've got a cheerleading camp to film from 10 to 4. Yeah, those are interesting. They have a bunch of schools get together and they all do the competitions. They do their cheer routines and everything. And they get, it's a competition. So we film it all. And, fun stuff. We're listening to Salt and Pepper right now. I 2-4. Shoop and push it. Whoop, whoop. Push it real good. Push it in. Twitter movies. Disney movies. One of my favorite Disney movies ever. Coming up soon. I ain't going to tell you right now. Why would you listen? It's not one of the mainstream. I can tell you that. But it's not so obscure that you've probably never heard of it, but you might not have. Woo, sorry, y'all. I'm tired. I get that mid-morning lull, I just can't get over that no-show and ID thing. I mean, if you didn't do anything wrong, then show your ID and move on. You got a story to tell about a prick cop. But this whole thing of, I didn't do nothing. We don't know why they're out there. But then with this cat we were just talking about, though, it's like, dude, you're out here like causing panic. You're not allowed to cause panic. It said it right in there. We talked about the freedom of speech the other day. We talked about the Second Amendment which amendment? The second? No, the second's right to bear arms. First Amendment. See, automatically went right to guns, didn't I? And free speech is limited. I mean, you can say it, but you're going to have consequences. But you cannot say anything and do anything that incites a breach of peace. I'm sorry, but that's a breach of peace. So I disagreed with their decision. I feel like their decision was based on, I'm not going to die on this hill tonight, and I'm not going to ruin my career and possibly go to jail because this buffoon wants to go out with a stupid Halloween costume. I think it altered the judgment of that cop, and it altered the judgment of the police department to say, well, he didn't kill nobody, so it's really not that big of a deal. Now, if he kills somebody, call us. We'll be right there. You see? I don't like that mentality. It's an invitation to problems. BRB, I didn't go nowhere. I'm right here. We got more than just that little table in here, I know it's chilly a little bit, so I got this on, but you can't tell while I'm working. Oh, yeah. Sunny day in Detroit, baby. Too bad I got to work all day. What a life. Got to make money. I feel blessed to be able to make money. I feel blessed to have the jobs that I do. And sometimes it sucks, but I like spending money too. When I'm off, I like to go out and do stuff. I've been craving. I had Buffalo Wild Wings. I've been craving wings. It was a disappointment. They weren't done. They were bigger than normal. They were regular size wings. I was surprised and impressed, but they didn't cook them enough. They're bigger. You got to cook them longer. So I was disappointed a little bit, but I don't think that's the best place to go for wings. It might have been before, but I don't even think it was the best before. I like the atmosphere. I'll still go back. I'll still go and get wings, and I don't complain. I don't tell them I'm not eating them. I eat what I can, and then I'm done with them. I don't not pay for them. I don't argue. If I don't get what I want, that's different. But I don't go for that. I don't like going places where, everything's a problem and my food's got to be perfect. If your food has to be perfect, eat at home. Unless you don't know how to cook it perfect, then you're paying for that. I can dig it, right? You're not paying $30 for a steak for it to be cooked improperly. I always grab the wrong one. Whoa. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. All right, be right back.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drink. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the Cheers of the game bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple.
Minute left. We're back. Hey, must be the money. Listen to Nelly. Ride with me. Uh-oh, here we go. Well, we got a commercial.
Detroit's premier LGBT bars, the Hayloft Saloon where men meet men and everybody's welcome, or the Cheers of the LGBT Detroit bars, Adam's Apple, where they know what time you're coming in, where you're sitting, what you're drinking, And what time you going home? Find them on Facebook today. Hayloft Saloon and Adam's Apple.
This is Cujo Speaks. You're listening to my station, Hot 9397.
All right. Oh, the House of Pain is in effect, y'all. On a Friday morning, ready to get it rolling for the weekend. All right, Disney movies. The top ones. What's your favorite? I know mine. We're going to look at the top 35 real quick. We're not going to go through many of them. We're going to go through the top 35, but we're not going to spend an hour doing it, right? But we are going to talk about some of the sticking points, if you will. Number 35 on the list of 35 top Disney movies, subjective to opinion, of course. Turning Red. Yeah, Disney made that movie about a 13-year-old child, a 13-year-old girl's experience coming of age, going through puberty, and riding the Crimson Wave. So Maylene turns into a giant red panda when her hormones reach peak level. This is from the first director to ever direct a Pixar movie. A good message to the ladies, to the young ladies. It's a normal thing, and you're going to turn into a giant red panda when your hormone levels reach peak level. Something to look forward to. And the guys are like, more like a red devil, but hey.
Beware.
Go ahead.
Beware, I said.
Not all of these movies are animated for Disney, of course.
Right, right.
We were talking a little bit. I said, like, I don't know if they're Disney or not, but I liked the Apple Dumpling Gang, Herbie, and all those. Herbie Goes to Hollywood and stuff. But
right.
Not all of them are animated, so we got to understand that. The other one, the Star Wars universe, number 34. George Lucas sold Star Wars franchise to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So the House of Mouse opened up the floodgates. Let's get all the money we can.
Sure.
I never heard of Raya and the Last Dragon.
No, I haven't either.
I did not know number 32 on the list, Hamilton, is Disney.
Really?
Cinematic concert film. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I liked this. Tom Hanks in Pinocchio, the live action. I enjoyed it.
That's got to be good, yeah.
Thing, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was cute. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Well, Tom Hanks brings so much to the table too. Whenever he does a project, that
yes, he is.
It's always entertaining in one way or another, whatever it's meant to be. If it's meant to be serious and dramatic, it's that too. But in Pinocchio is only so serious and dramatic. So,
Encanto. Not familiar with that one. These are newer Disney movies too.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Encanto is the ostracized, future-telling uncle banished by the Colombian family, never to be spoken of as if he's related to Lord Voldemort.
I have no idea. No idea at all.
Now, Cruella, we know that one. That was the 101 Dalmatians, Cruella
right.
de Vil. But this was not a cartoon. It was the live action, I guess they call it.
Sounds like she ought to have a talk show. Cruella.
I know, she could too.
Yeah.
Now, here's a Disney movie that I've never heard of. And Black is King, a companion piece to Disney's live action Lion King. Beyonce's 2020 visual album Black is King is a love letter to Africa and a celebration of Black excellence. The film, released on Disney Plus streaming platforms, reimagines the lessons of the animated classic through sonic splendor, courtesy of Bey herself, Jay-Z, and Kendrick Lamar. Mulan, I've heard of that one.
I have.
Mulan.
Yeah.
Coco, never heard of it.
Nope.
Pixar, that's why it's newer.
Yeah, that is the newer division, I guess, of the whole Disney franchise.
I know. I know how to make cartoons. And what a process. When I watch these animated things now, other than South Park, that's barbaric animation on purpose, it's amazing.
Right.
Watching what they can do nowadays. And I don't even watch movies the same way I used to now. I'm watching scene after scene put together. It's just totally different now for me.
Well, once you've got the technical background, then you're looking at more things than just the storyline. And sometimes you probably have to watch it more than once to really pick up everything because you're looking for so many things,
Oh, and there's so many. A glass in one scene that's a Coke bottle full, and then the next scene it's half empty. Or half-eaten hamburgers that are
right.
Like the one scene we were watching when I was in broadcasting school. They were showing the one scene of the guy eating the hamburger, and then it cuts back. So he's eating it, and it's almost half gone. And then they cut back to the scene again. It's the whole hamburger again. And then they cut back to it again. And so when he was, you know what I mean? They were filming and editing and cutting and redoing, and it ended up they missed that.
No, but I say nobody caught the take 3, take 4, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and they pay people to look in the backgrounds of stuff to make sure everything's the same throughout. Right? And nobody's perfect.
No, it's checked and double checked, but still missed
Coco.
Sometimes.
And we all know this one, Black Panther. And then, of course, the main character passed away. Forgive my ignorance, I can't remember his name, but he passed away. So Black Panther, a Disney movie, I would have never guessed. Avengers Endgame, I would have never, Disney, I wouldn't have guessed. I would have thought Marvel or something, but maybe they're owned by them. Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. You gotta like it. It's about dogs.
That was the dog movie, the very popular one, yeah.
Here's a great movie that's Disney, and I would have never thought it was Disney. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I wouldn't have thought that was Disney either. But
Rick Moranis, right? The wacky inventor.
Right. I guess when you think in terms of Disney, a lot of stuff, especially the older stuff, was cartoon-related stuff and not so much movie, live action, live filmed movies, which came along later on. But yeah, that kind of fits the Disney theme back then too, of the family type shows and that kind of thing.
Zootopia. I've never watched it. I've heard of it. I've never watched it. Yep. Frozen, very popular. I've never watched, but Frozen. I mean, Anna, Elsa, Olaf. I've never watched it, but
I've never. Yeah, I was gonna say I've never watched it. I've never seen the movie, but I've learned more about it just from the retail store selling stuff.
And side note, I did play Olaf in a national pageant.
Really?
For somebody in their talent. Yeah. And I played Olaf. We've still got the Olaf costume, and maybe I'll go out for Halloween next year as Olaf.
Yeah, I should have thought of that earlier.
I know. I just thought of that now. I got a costume for next year. I can't wait for next Halloween. I know my costume already.
You could just wear it on a random day just because.
I could show up at the Adam's Apple for my adult beverages, but I'll have to have a straw for my drink.
I don't know. Does Olaf drink?
Mona, or is it Moana? I don't know.
Moana? I'm not sure.
Mona, Moana, Mona. Toy Story, we know that one. I loved the movie.
Yes.
Tom Hanks again.
Yeah, good time. And then now we got all the way up to like Toy Story 4 or something, haven't we? I thought there was a fourth Toy Story released. Yeah, I thought there had been one released. Not a real long time ago. Yeah.
Love it. Great movie. I loved it. I like anything Tom Hanks is in, I think is going to be good. Finding Nemo, an undersea story. Right?
Yep.
About a clownfish with a bad sense of humor. Inside Out.
I don't know
A
that one.
Portal into a Preteen's Brain. I never heard of it.
Never heard of that one.
Ratatouille. I've heard of that one.
I've heard of it, yeah, because of the name being a little different. I've heard of it, but I don't recall it. What it was.
14th best Disney movie ever. Old Yeller.
Well, that's only because there's been more recent competition. I'm sure it was top 5 for a long time before we added another 100 movies, you know.
Yeah. Another non-animated one, Mary Poppins.
Okay.
She can fly. She can put spells on you. She can dance.
She's a very talented woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, talented woman.
A timeless classic about an enchanting nanny adored by critics and fans alike. The Parent Trap, another Disney movie, not animated.
Nope. And I think there was
Titans Disney movie. I had no idea.
No.
True Story. You remember the Titans?
No.
It was about there was a segregation of sport, blacks and whites in sports back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
True story about a squad in the 70s in Virginia.
Okay.
And basically hired a black coach. And the black kids were treated differently than the white kids. And it took a lot to bring them together. But football will do that because you have to work as a team. And they ended up not all being friends, but they ended up, a majority of them, learning their lessons and racial harmony and humans.
At least being able to get along, and yeah.
Queen of Katwe.
No
now
idea.
this is not an animated movie. 10 years old and already a vital member of her family, helping her mother care for their kin in the slums of Kampala, Uganda. Fiona Mutesi finds her release when she's making movies on the chessboard, or making moves on the chessboard. All right. And then we know the classic, The Mighty Ducks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, they're familiar. The Mighty Ducks was good.
Mm-hmm.
The Princess and the Frog.
Don't know it.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
That one we know.
Can't help but know that one.
What's that?
I said we can't help but know that one.
Absolutely. The Lion King, number
Right,
6.
right. Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
A beautiful story about true love does not come from what appears on the outside. That's what Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about
True.
falling for somebody because of who they are, not for what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great lesson.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cinderella. I don't know if that's a great lesson in this one.
Get your
But
shoes on and get home by midnight. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the one that was very controversial. Well, to our family, very controversial. Fantasia, the number 3 best Disney movie ever, but not very liked by the kids. It's pretty.
They had a different
level.
Yeah,
it's like a musical, right? Bach, Beethoven,
yeah.
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, it had a very different tone to it than a lot of Disney stuff.
I'm surprised it's 3.
I am too.
Number 2, 101 Dalmatians.
Classic.
1961.
I was going to say 1960s are calling. Yeah.
Yeah, 1961. The
But it's
Doggy
about
Delight.
it's about doggies and puppies, and who doesn't like that even today?
Exactly. And the same thing that's going on today, the puppy stealing and the breeding. And
Yep.
number 1, name it. Number 1. Can you guess it?
Oh, geez.
The first fully animated Disney feature film.
I can't think of it, but I know it as soon as you say it.
I mean, it's because there's a lot to choose from.
Right.
1937.
Well, it had to be a Mickey Mouse something.
Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
Really? Okay. All right. That makes sense. That is.
Wicked
Yeah.
Forces, Poison Fruits, and True Love's Kiss. Sounds like a case of gonorrhea over the weekend. Not mentioned one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
Based on a copy of Elvis Presley, a rooster who plays rock and roll rooster called Rockadoodle.
Okay.
Yeah, Rockadoodle.
I don't recall it, but it must be good. If you like it and it's a favorite, it must be good.
1991, it came out. Yeah, Rockadoodle.
Okay.
Live action animated musical comedy. It's Elvis as a rooster.
Okay.
He's got the big Elvis hair.
Oh,
he plays the
now-
guitar.
Now that you mention it, I've at least heard of it and seen about it. Yes. I do remember that.
So a rooster who's singing Raises the Sun every morning gets into a fight with a stranger sent by the Grand Duke of Owls. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He defeats his attacker but forgets to crow, and the sun rises anyway. Ridiculed and rejected by the other animals who think he's the reason the sun rises. He leaves the farm in shame. And the sun goes back down as he had not crowed. Afterwards, perpetual darkness and rainfall threatened the farm with flooding.
Oh, no.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorite that didn't make the list, but it's funny. That's not unusual, right? Our favorite songs maybe not be the top 100 ever.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how many times we watch a movie and go, that was great. And then the critics go, terrible movie. Don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are you looking for? Like if you're a movie snob and you're looking for certain things, but if you're just looking for like Happy Gilmore, I'm sure the critics tore it apart.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right. But
that's exactly my go-to kind of movie too. Cause when I don't have time to watch movies as it is. And when I do have time, I want to be entertained. I want to laugh. I want it to be light, I don't have time for the extra drama. God knows there's enough going on already.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yes. Plenty of drama in the world today.
That's right.
Movies, I mean, I like getting back to that family movie. I watch family movies now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just at this point in the way things are in the world, it's a relief. It's a diversion. It's something different from what's happening. It used to be that it was just more the entertainment fit in with the lifestyle and, the way things were way back in the day. But now, with so many different forms of entertainment and everything like that. Yeah, it is just it is an opportunity to get away for a minute.
I mean, I like horror movies. I get it. I don't like them. I guess I don't dislike them though, but I don't, I understand all the different things, and I don't blame all the bad movies on all the bad things that happen. We got to be able to teach our children when they're age related to say, yes, this is a movie that shows violence, but we know that these are actors, right? We know that this is not the way we handle things in real life, right? We know that this is just make believe.
This is pretend, yes.
Yeah. And I don't think we take the time to make sure our kids know this anymore. And when we're not giving them the tools they need to survive on the streets, they go out there and survive on the streets their own way. And that ain't the way you want it. But speaking of superheroes, got to go all the way to Peru in South America.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, and Black Widow took part in an operation which targeted a specific house in San Juan de Lurigancho neighborhood in Lima, Peru. Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, and the Black Widow took part in this operation dubbed Marvel, where they detained 4 people during a raid, seizing 3,250 pounds of packages of cocaine paste, as well as bags of cocaine and cannabis. Cocaine paste.
I've
The hell
never
is
heard of
cocaine paste?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Is that before it's turned into powder? Is that what
I don't know. Must
how
be.
it's part of how it's made, and it's like it wasn't
Would've-
finished yet,
Well,
or
drywall, and then with mud and cocaine paste.
right?
Let's watch the party get started. You're like, why are they, look at all them wall liquors in there. What's going on?
Get your nose out of that.
Liquors, but what
Yeah,
the
get your nose out of that.
heck? 4 Peruvian police officers disguised themselves as these characters to carry out a drug raid in Peru. And they show them. It's amazing. It's amazing. Let's see if I can get the video. Oh, I sure can. Look at that.
Hey,
Get an advertisement.
well, that's the way we do it. Maybe
Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, and the Black Widow.
two.
I love it. That's perfect. Could you be? You're the bad guy. Like you would
Usually.
literally video your own arrest. Be like, "This is so cool, guys! Look, we're getting busted by 4 superheroes.
Right.
Somebody grab your phone."
check this out. Yeah, we want to save this for later. That would be pretty funny.
Unbelievable. I think it's cute. I love it.
Hmm.
Oh, lordy, lordy. You never know what's going to happen.
No, it gets weirder all the time out there. Sometimes it's humorous weird. A lot of times it's not, but
Mm-hmm. All right, where are we at? 9/11. What is your preference? Would you rather, given the choice, you can only for the rest of your life, only eat French fries or tater tots with your meals? Now, obviously not with everything, but when you're going to have them.
when one
have
of them
to
doesn't,
have
one
them.
of the other one doesn't exist.
Right.
I gotta go with French fries only because you can make them a few different ways. As far as I know, tater tots are always kind of the same. They're crispy on the outside, which is nice, but you can make crispy French fries. You
They're
can
like
also
balls of
make
hash brown, kind of.
yeah, and undoubtedly good. For me, it's a breakfast favorite.
It'd be from the male hash browns, right?
Of course.
The male hash browns has the little tater tots.
Yes.
They don't
Little
like to
babies.
call them tater tots.
Little babies.
Homies.
Yeah, but I think that's a tough one though. That is a tough one because they're both really good. I just think fries go better with burgers, I think, than tater tots.
See, that's the problem. There's the quandary right there, Bob. What am I eating?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
things got like a hamburger. I gotta have French fries
Right. If it's an omelet, I want tater tots. Yeah.
because it's hash brown balls. Or
Yep.
you know,
Don't call me hash browns.
don't call me that. I wouldn't make a
Yeah. Well, they're both delicious though. So let's not take either one away. Let's not do that as a would you rather.
You know what? You got to choose one. I would say French fries because the same reason. It's more universal for my liking, right? Tater tots, I would think I only would eat with. I can't even imagine what I could pinpoint to say what I would just like. These are the go-to together.
Like I said, I think of it as breakfast food, like either with scrambled eggs or an omelet, something like that. That and some sausage. That's a perfect fit for me for tater tots. Whereas I wouldn't see fries on my plate doing that. So that would be
Charlie
weird to me.
checking in on the live stream broadcast. I made fried chicken and green beans for my family last night for dinner. They ate it all. Excellent. It must have been delicious. Fried chicken and green beans. That sounds good, doesn't it?
Sounds really no leftovers, man.
They don't have leftovers. They ate it all.
No leftovers.
Baby. You know it's good when they ate it all. Going back
That's
for
right.
seconds and thirds. And,
Well, then it's like, well, there's only a little bit left. Somebody eat this, so we don't have to have leftovers.
yeah. And when you when you plan for leftovers, you cook for leftovers, and then you go, oh, it was so good. There's no leftovers.
Yep.
You nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that just made me think of Thanksgiving just now when you said plan for leftovers when you make your dinner, and a lot of times when we make it, we like double thing because you want to have that next
Right,
day
yeah.
and Thanksgiving weekend. You want to enjoy it another time or two because you know you probably won't do it after the weekend until
Oh
it's
yeah,
a long time.
I'll bet 80% of the people eat turkey once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a sliced turkey sandwich you get from the deli or something like that. You know,
Right. I
sliced
would do
turkey.
regular baked kind of carvable. We love to throw in the middle of summer just for the heck of it. We'll throw a turkey breast on the grill just because we haven't had it since
Never cooked turkey on
Thanksgiving.
the grill. That's a good idea, though.
It is really good.
I bet. Oh, I bet. I love it, and I love chicken on the grill. Anything on the grill is good. I mean,
But it's
you can
always
cook anything on the grill.
oh yeah. But it's always sometime in the summer, and it's never planned. It's always just like a spontaneous look at each other. Goes today Turkey Day, maybe?
Hey, what do we have in the freezer? What do we?
That's
feel
right.
Like?
Or yeah, we'll go to the store. It's okay. It's
That's one thing that I used to have, the deep freezer, and we would have the freezer filled with food and stuff. But now I'm a little different. I don't like my meat frozen. Not that I don't even notice a difference really, but there might be. I think if you leave it in there long enough, it might make a difference. But I'm just more of a purchase it fresh and cook it. So I'll buy like the other day I bought salmon, cheese ravioli because I don't make them homemade,
right.
and chicken and stuff like that, or the hamburger for the meatloaf I made and everything. And then I keep it in the fridge and I don't freeze the stuff. I just make sure I use it within 3 days.
Right. I don't mind freezer meats, but you have to defrost it at its own pace. You have to do a proper defrost. You can't like throw it in warm water or put it in the microwave for 5 minutes on low and then cook it. You can't do that. It's got to be, if you froze it, you got to let it unfreeze itself first, and then
True.
I think it stays the best flavor wise.
Yeah, and if you're making hamburgers, you can't make hamburgers if you don't let that thaw naturally.
Oh, of course.
At least it makes it more difficult.
Well, no, because even if you try to cook them, then you get a burnt outside and a raw inside. It's kind of good.
And it loses its adhesion. Like it doesn't stick together as well either.
It doesn't cook well on the inside. It takes so much longer to heat up the middle that's still frozen, and meanwhile the outside you've burned. Yeah.
But if you're putting together like for ground beef for tacos, not as big of a deal. You can microwave it a little bit.
Oh, sure.
But you still might lose the flavor like you talked about, but then you're adding flavor too.
But you're throwing stuff in it, so then, yeah, that's less of a thing. But I'm thinking just regular, like you said, anything that you're going to eat that's either on the grill or kind of a standalone. Like burger meat pretty much stands alone if it's in a burger. It's whatever vegetables you put on it or, but whereas taco stuff, yeah, you mix it up.
You can make the loose burger hot dog, and that's basically... we screwed up and we can't make burgers out of it because it won't stick together. So grab the hot dog buns.
We're selling this stuff anyway. What are we going to call it? Yeah.
Hamburger's one of those things, though, that depending on how you cook it, it changes the taste completely.
Oh, yeah.
Cook a burger on the grill. Get a pound of burger. Make 4 1/4 pound or 3 1/3 pound burgers. Cook one on a grill and one on a frying pan. Same meat, same batch. It's going to taste totally different. And they both hamburgers.
Yep. They're both good, but they're in their own way.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I don't care for the fried burger on the grill, but McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, I do like.
I generally like stuff grilled whenever possible, but if you put a fried cheeseburger from the pan in front of my face, you know where it's going. In my face. It's like, I'm not going to say no.
No, I made a 2-pound meatloaf the other day and I ate a pound of it myself over the past 2 days. Don't eat meatloaf often.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get in the mood to make something, and then it's like, yeah, this was good. I'll have some more. Well, this was still good. I'll have a little more. And then you won't have it again for 6 months,
Exactly. Look, like tater tots. I don't know, like, speaking of that, meatloaf, mashed potatoes and gravy, and green beans. But if I was going to substitute the mashed potatoes and gravy for tater tots, I don't know that it would go good with the meatloaf. But I could do steak and French fries, but I don't know if I could do steak and tater tots, and I don't know if I could do meatloaf and French fries or meatloaf and tater tots, but I know meatloaf and mashed potatoes go together great.
Those go together. I think tater tots go second and fries go third. To me, tater tots also scream ketchup, even more so than fries, although you usually want ketchup with your fries. But tater tots, just they want their ketchup partner there. And so that would go okay with meatloaf, but I don't know. But it is funny how different types kind of go with different meals more so than others. Yeah. It's all the same thing. Potatoes, potato, potato, but it's how you make it and what it goes with. Yeah.
But it's totally different though. Baked potato. I love it. Baked potato with steak. Steak and French fries is good.
Yep.
But I couldn't imagine steak and tater tots.
That would seem strange. Yeah.
You know, and then like breakfast time, you got potatoes O'Brien. You got like the onions and the green peppers and the red peppers mixed in there and stuff. Hash browns like we talked about. Oh, this guy! I thought I blocked this guy. How does he keep getting on here?
What, on the live stream again? I'm not seeing it this time.
This person's getting me mad.
I don't know.
I can't block the user.
Yeah, well.
What is this? They hacked my whole thing.
It looks like it.
All right, we're